Okay, this is tutorial 4 on how to create an HTML web page. We're going to continue with the design of creating a photo album, and this is how far we got on the last tutorial. We've got our images stored into a table, and we've got a little bit of text underneath the images as well. So in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to create links to other web pages, and I'm also going to show you how to tidy up this web page, because if you notice, all these are different sizes. It doesn't look very good, and also this picture here is not centered, which is a little bit not very good either, so we'll sort that out as well. Right, so this is the code that we had from the last tutorial, and first of all let's just work out how to get all these images centered. So we're just going to pop a little bit of code in the table up here. We've got align center, which basically means that it's going to align the table in the center of the web page. But if we just copy this style from, or this style attribute from the heading and pop that into the table, so I'm just going to zoom in so you can see what I just did there. So I'm taking this heading style here, and I'm going to put it into the table, into the main tab of the table, and just put a space in there. Now if I save that, you'll notice now when I reload this web page that the name has gone into the middle, and also this picture, if you just highlight that picture has now gone into the middle of that box as well in the table. Okay, so just makes things a little bit neater. Now what we're going to do is try and tidy up these images so that they're all the same size. And there's many ways of editing images. I'm just going to show you the way that comes free with Windows. And if I right click, so these are the pictures in my photo album folder. So there's the first picture. So if I just right click on that and I go to edit, and this should open it up in Paint, which is the photo editor that comes with Windows. So basically this is the picture that's now. We want to resize it, and what we want to do is make a thumbnail of the picture, and a thumbnail is basically like a small image of the original picture. So you could use percentage, but I like working with pixels. This now the picture is 313 by 229. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock down that to, let's say, 80. And notice it automatically changes the vertical, because the aspect ratio is going to remain the same, which means it's going to look the same. It's just going to be smaller. If you didn't maintain the aspect ratio, then you're going to end up with a squashed picture, which wouldn't look so good. So that's okay. So there's our little thumbnail now of the picture. Now we're going to save that. So go to File, Save As, and we'll save it just as a picture, JPEG picture. Okay, now if we save it on top of this one, we're going to lose the original. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that one there, but I'm going to change this. So it's just going to have, again, remember, no spaces, so I'm going to use _ THM, and that's for thumbnail, so just a thumb picture. Okay, in fact, I should just save it as TB, thumb. Okay, we'll save that. Now let's do the same with the other pictures. So again, right click, edit, and there's my lovely picture of Google. So I'm going to resize it, and again keep them all the same size. This time it's going to be 80 again. Oops, that's some percentage still, so let's ignore that. Go to pixels, 80, and click OK, and then save that as well. And I'm going to save it as, again, _ TH for thumb. Okay, so I'm just going to pause the video, and I'll keep doing that for the rest of them. So there, I have now got all my images. It's two files, one a larger file. You can see, if I just move it up a little bit, you can see now that picture 4 there is dimensions is 276 by 161, and the thumbnail is 80 by 46. Okay, so we've got small images for each of the pictures. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is let's just move that away. And if I go to my code, so now instead of loading up picture 1, which is the full-size picture, I'm going to change that to thumbnail, change that to thumbnail, change that to thumbnail, and also the last one, change that to thumbnail. Now, if I load it up like that, it would look a bit weird. In fact, if I can show you what it looked like, it'll look very strange. Well, not strange, but it will look. It won't be very good quality because this is what's going to happen. So that's the page just now. When I reload it, you can see it's gone all blurred. And the reason for that is because you're loading up poor quality images and you're trying to make them look big. They should only be 80 centimeters, sorry, 80 pixels going across the way, and this now they're far too big. So we have to go back into the attributes in our code and change them all. So here we've got all this height and the width. All the widths should be 80 now because we changed them all to 80. Now you could obviously it doesn't have to be 80 the size of your pictures when you resize them, but that's just the size that I've chosen. And the thumbnail, if you look at this first one, picture 1, it says its dimensions is 80 width and it's 58 height, so I change that to 58. And let's look at the next one. Thumbnail 2 is 45. And then if I go down to this one, it is 41. Oops. And then the last one is 46. Okay, let's save that. Control S to save. And then I'm going to reload this web page. And now you've got a nice little small neater table with all the images in there. Okay, so it looks a little bit neater. I mean, those are probably actually a little bit too small, those thumbnails, but maybe it would have been better with a 100 as the width. But let's just leave it as it is just now. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want to create a link to another web page. Now, to do this, you first of all have to create another web page. So let's just say when we click on this Google one bit of text here, it's going to take us to another web page that will have a bigger picture of this Google image. So let's go to File, New, and we'll create a new web page. Now this new web page is going to be pretty similar. At the start, it's going to be pretty similar to the first one. It's going to have this preamble. It's going to have the HTML and also language attribute. It's going to have the header will be the same. This title we might want to change, so we can look at that. Then the body is going to be completely different. So let's just copy all of this here. Just the header and the top of the HTML. Copy that and put it into here. And then what we'll do is we'll put our body in, and also we'll put our closing tag for body. Oops, body. And then don't forget right down at the very bottom here, you have your closing tag for your HTML as well. Okay, so in here we're going to put the large image of this here. Now again, you could type it all out again, or you can just copy and paste it from the other one, but it's img src. Let's just see if I got that. I keep getting that one wrong with src, that's right. And then the image name, so the source of the image is going to be, I think it's picture1.jpg, and then the alt information, so basic information about the picture if it's not there, is going to be picture 1. And then what else do we need? Oh yes, the width and also the height. And I've forgotten what those are, so I'll have to put those back in again. Okay, so let's just find out what the width and height is again for picture 1. So hover over that. And again, just remember, if you can't find it out from when you hover over it, if you right click and go to properties, it will tell you how many pixels it is. So it's 313 by 229. So the width is 313, and let's just move along a little bit, and the height is 229. Okay, now we're going to have to save this web page. So File, Save As. So these are all the ones I've got. So there's my index page, the very first page. So I don't want to save it on top of that, otherwise I'll lose my other one. So I'm going to call this, let's call it picture 1.html. Now again, it's really important you've got the HTML there. It's telling it that it's a web page. And if I save that, and you'll be able to, if you can view that in the browser. So we'll just go run, launch in Chrome. It didn't work, and you see my mistake right there. Forgot to close the inverted commas, and now obviously you can see now everything's gone nicely red there. Oh, something doesn't look right here. There we go, got to put equals in there. There we go, all fine now. So let's save that and reload it. There we go. Okay, so there's my larger picture of the first picture. So if we go back to index now, we're going to try and point this image, which is this image here, to that larger the larger photo. Okay, so to do this now, it gets a little bit large. See, it's getting a lot of text here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make this look a little bit neater, or try to make it look a little bit neater. So what I'm going to do is this cell, I'm going to, that there is all one cell. So there's the opening tag for that cell and the closing tag for that cell. And the first line tells us to load up an image. So I'm going to put that, and I'm going to put that there, and then there's an enter there. So basically all that's happening there, I've now just got a little bit more spaced out. That's all I'm trying to say there. Now what I want to do here is I can put in here that I'm going to link this word here to the other web page. Okay, so the tag for this is called an H or a ref, or it's called an a tag, and attributes is an a reference or h reference. So what we're going to do is we're going to point it to the web page. The h reference points to the web page that you want to go to. So in here I'm going to put the other web page, which is picture 1.html. Okay, so that's that sorted out. And again, because this is a tag, we must close that with an angle bracket. Now, what happens here, this is the clever bit, so this is what makes it into an element. This is the opening tag. The closing tag for it is going to be on the other side of the text. So this basic text here is going to be the link. So what we do on the other side, we close this tag, and that now will produce a link to this web page. When you click on Google One, it will link you to the next web page. So let's see if that works. So Control S to save it. Let's reload this page, and now if you notice, this now has got a line underneath it which shows it's got a link. So when we click on that, it takes us to the other page. The problem is now we can't go back the way, so but we can put a little button in there to do that. So let's just go back like that. Okay. So that's how you do the basics of a link. I'll just show you how to put a link to return to the previous page. So we could put one here, and what we could do is maybe just underneath the web page. So there's just underneath the image. There's the image there. So if we put a break at the end of that, so let's just put one in here. So that means we're going on to a new line. So that will put it underneath the image, and I'll also put an extra one in to make it a little bit spaced out away from the image. And then I'm going to type the text home. Okay, so we want to link this word to go back to the original page. So if we just look at that, what that looks like just now. So if this is our larger image page, we refresh there's the home. So now there's no link on that just now, but if we put in this a tag, and it's got to be href, and then we've got to work out what the reference is going to be. Oops, close the angle brackets. Right, so the href is going to take it back to the original page, which is index.html. And then we must remember to close the tag. So now we've got a complete element there. Okay, so let's save that, and we should notice now when we refresh this page that we've now got a link there. So we can click on that link and it'll take us back to the photo album, click on Google One, and so on. Okay, so there we go, that's how you can navigate between pages. Now obviously we can complete exactly the same for each one of these little images, and then we could go link up with different pages. Okay, so I hope that helps a little bit on how to create HTML links, and also how to just tidy up your table a little bit. Okay, thanks for listening.